Hello and welcome back to Sprite Guard Plays Umihara Kawase. I've been doing a bit of practicing, so let's see if I can do any better than I have been. This jump is continuing to be very challenging for me. I'm working on getting it faster and smoother, but I still don't have a real sense of consistency with this. I'm starting to get better, and I'm starting to get a sense for where that consistency is going to be, but I don't quite have the consistency yet. I can see it off in the distance, which is something that I've experienced a few times in games and always find a little bit fascinating and a little bit frustrating. Frustrating, of course, because I can see my destination and not get to it, but also fascinating in that there are ideas that I can understand, even though I'm not quite physically able to take them to their conclusion. And that's actually happened to me even in games that don't have a physical component, games like Go, where everything is just decisions that you're making. And I can kind of see in the game the sorts of decisions that I might be making if I were better, which I find really fascinating. Now, I have really been working at this quite a lot, and I'm starting to get it more or less consistent, but the end needs a bit of work, so I'll probably put a couple of lives into that. I want to be careful because I just realized that I actually have my... Normally when I do these videos, I have the bumpers set to no input, but during my practice I have them set to save and restore, so that I can practice a single jump just unlimited times. I really need to stop doing that. So I just realized I forgot to unset save and restore there. Let's see. There we go. Alright, now I just need to... So I need to keep myself from accidentally pushing a button that I don't want to push. There we go. Alright, that's that step. Boy, I saw the runner at AGDQ could do this part just in, like, a really smooth motion. It was amazing. I mean, that guy can do a lot of things in this game amazingly smoothly. And smoothness is something that I've struggled with in almost everything I've ever done. Oh, that was such a close miss! Oh, man. Okay, I'm gonna go over the top because I have put a lot of lives into that and definitely still need some work, but that is one of my favorite things in this game, is that series of jumps right there. Because it's so early on, and it kind of gives you a taste of what the game is all about, that you kind of look at it and go, is that possible? No, that couldn't be. Oh, it's possible. And I love that feeling in this game of... It's like there are always more possibilities than I can think of. Like, I noticed there were some vertical areas that I thought there was no way to actually climb them. Turned out there was. And I saw somebody climbing them. It was not the speedrun route, so I don't remember what the context was. It may have been there are some other routes that get run occasionally, but not as often, because the speedrun route is the shortest, and so a lot of people just think, well, if it's going to be a speedrun, it has to be the shortest route, right? Which, sometimes. I've seen a lot of games where people will run 100% routes, or even in Super Mario 64, there's like different categories for how many stars you get, and 100% is getting all 120 stars, and then there's, I think, like a 76-star category, and a 16-star category, and then a 0-star category. So there's different lengths of routes that people run. That was supposed to go forwards and not up. I think I need to get a better controller. This one is a bit squishy. And I've kind of been noticing recently as I've been playing it some bad habits that I've developed because I'm using a somewhat squishy controller. And so I have been looking at other controllers that I might use, and the Wii U controller actually has a very nice D-pad, so that's one that I've been considering. And then I've also seen some third-party controllers that actually have a pretty nice setup, including one from Razer, I believe. I think Razer has one that has exactly the kind of D-pad I want, and they have a pretty good reputation. I have seen some Street Fighter players use their equipment, which to me is a really good endorsement because those guys have to do incredibly precise inputs. And so I expect that if they've made it far enough into a tournament that their sponsorship is visible to me, that they're using decent equipment. And I don't know if that's always the best assumption to make, but it's one of those simplifying assumptions that I've made in my life. And I would love to hear what you think about how you decide what products to buy, because I know that it's a very rough approximation that I just described, and a very kind of dependent on a lot of factors other than quality. So I would love to hear about how you purchase your gaming equipment. I'm going to try going over the top, because that's a lot of falls that we've had right there. I've been thinking more about the narrative stuff that I talked about in the Hyper Rogue episode, and I've been thinking about how I want to approach it in this game, because I've just been thinking so much about narrative that it's like, it's showing up everywhere now for me. And one of the things that I thought about is sort of wanting to approach it a little bit as an athlete narrative. I mean, I'm not an athlete, but kind of taking it with the sort of approach that we construct around stories about athletes, and that I often see in stories about speedrunners. It's that kind of struggle against the game and building up the self that I really like. It's a story that I find really compelling, and so I know that it's a story that I'm beginning to live and may continue. Whoops! Oh dear. May continue to live. Who knows? There's so much uncertainty in life in general that I never feel like making promises, even though I think people make promises often with a lot less certainty than I have. Ooh, I was holding left. What was that? Come on. I was maybe holding it a little too hard. This controller, part of the squishiness is if you press too hard, it can get a little bit unresponsive sometimes. Oh, nope, that was too soon. Alright. Some bad decisions here in the Field 11. Some bad decisions in Field 10 and Field 11, unfortunately. Oh, I could have jumped there. Alright, I'm gonna have to wait for the fish to go away, and then I'm gonna climb up, and that was really risky. I didn't know that that fish was going to be far enough away for me to get up on the ledge without it killing me, because they have quite large hitboxes. Let's see if I can... Okay. This is... Oh, that is not how I wanted that to end. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment, and have a great rest of your day.